"You are out, Richard. Your designs are outdated, and we are moving on." My partner is words sliced through the conference room like a cold blade. They hung in the air, sharp and final. "My name is Richard Allen Thornton. I am 57 years old and the founding architect of Thornton and Weiss Designs in Raleigh, North Carolina. For 22 years, I poured my soul into this firm, crafting award-winning buildings that defined our city's skyline. My designs won us contracts with Fortune 500 companies. Yet, in a 17-minute meeting on the 3rd of October, 2024, everything I built was stripped away. The betrayal stung, worse than the words. I sat there staring at the glass table, my chest tight. They thought they would bury me. They were wrong. I did not shout. I did not beg. My hands rested on my leather portfolio, a gift from my late father, its edges worn from years of use. Inside, my heart churned like a storm. The conference room is floor-to-ceiling, windows framed. Raleigh is autumn glow, mocking the chill inside. Glass walls reflected my colleagues' faces. Some avoided my gaze. Others stared with pity. I forced a nod, my voice steady. "I understand." They did not expect that. Outside, cars hummed on Fayetteville Street. Inside, silence suffocated us. My partner, Greg Weiss, adjusted his tie, his smirk faint but unmistakable. The air smelled of coffee and betrayal. My portfolio felt heavier, a tether to my past. I stood, my chair scraping softly. No one spoke. I walked out, their eyes on my back. My mind was already turning, calculating. They would take in my firm. I would take something greater. This was not over. It had all begun 3 years earlier, when Greg Weiss joined the firm. A 42-year-old architect with a Harvard degree, he arrived with slick presentations and bolder promises. I welcomed him, mentored him, shared my vision for sustainable designs. He called me a legend in our first meeting, his handshake firm. I believed we would build something extraordinary together. My mistake was trusting his ambition matched my integrity. Looking back, his flattery was the first crack in the foundation. I have been an architect since I was 26, sketching dreams into reality. My firm, Thornton and Weiss Designs, was born in a cramped Raleigh office in 2002. By 2024, we would design 47 commercial buildings, including the eco-friendly Pinnacle Tower, which earned a 2020 AIA award. My work blended form and function, steel and glass shaped to breathe, with the environment. Clients trusted me because I delivered on time, under budget, and with precision. I am a widower. My wife, Ellen, passed 6 years ago. Our daughter, Claire, 29, is a teacher in Durham. I live in a modest ranch house, my evenings spent sketching or reading. I do not chase flashy cars or corner offices. Hard work is my currency. When Greg joined, I saw potential. I spent late nights teaching him my process, from structural load calculations to client pitches. In 2022, we collaborated on a $12 million retail complex. My sustainable roof garden design clinched the deal. Greg took the stage at the unveiling, and I clapped from the sidelines. That is who I am, results over spotlight. But Greg was different. Early on, he seemed eager, soaking up my methods. We would debate designs over coffee, his ideas bold but unpolished. I refined them, gave him credit. He called me his mentor in a 2023 industry panel. I believed we were partners. I should have noticed the shift. In 2021, I would sketched a concept for a net-zero office tower, my proudest work. I shared it with Greg, thinking we would pitch it together. He nodded, said it was visionary. I did not know he would claim it as his own. My career was not just buildings. It was trust. In 2018, a client is budget overrun, threatened a hospital project. I worked 80-hour weeks, renegotiated contracts, and saved the deal. The client sent me a fountain pen as thanks. I carried it daily, a reminder of what integrity builds. Greg did not understand that. He was charming, quick with smiles and buzzwords. Kayams loved his energy. I thought we balanced each other. My designs, his hustle. But his hustle was not for us. It was for him. I never saw it coming. By 2024, I was planning my semi-retirement, marrying younger architects. Claire urged me to slow down, spend time with her. I promised I would. Then Greg made his move. Looking back, I built the firm's reputation. Greg built his escape plan. He underestimated me. I was not just an architect. I was a strategist, and I was ready to fight. Looking back, I should have seen the warning signs. They were there, subtle but sharp, like cracks in a foundation. The first came in March 2024. Greg started leading client meetings alone, claiming I was too busy. I brushed it off. My desk was buried in blueprints. But he would return with vague updates, avoiding my questions. His eyes would not meet mine. I ignored it. Then came the second sign. In June, a junior architect, Sarah, mentioned Greg pitching his net zero tower concept. I confronted him privately. He laughed, called it a mix-up, promised to credit me. I believed him. My mistake. The third sign was louder. In August, Greg mispronounced, a client is named in a meeting twice. The client? A CEO corrected him coldly. Greg did not flinch, but I saw it. Carelessness. He was cutting corners, relying on charm over substance. Others noticed too. Sarah whispered to me later. He is not you, Richard. I started paying attention. Greg's reports became sloppy, budgets inflated. He would leave early claiming client dinners, but I heard rumors of golf outings. My gut twisted, but I did not act. I was too focused on a new project, a $15 million museum. I thought I could fix things later. I was wrong. By September, the office dynamic shifted. Colleagues grew quiet when Greg entered. Sarah warned me he would be meeting with board members behind my back. I nodded, said I would handle it. But I did not. I trusted the firm's legacy to protect me. It did not. The final red flag was a missed deadline. Greg promised a client revised plans by the 20th of September. They arrived late, incomplete. I stayed up all night fixing them, my fountain pen scratching paper, as Claire texted, "Dad, you okay?" I was not. I should have acted sooner. Greg's flaws were clear now. Arrogance, laziness, greed. He thought he could outshine me by stealing my work. He did not know I would build this firm on trust, not flash. The cracks were spreading. I was not ready to fall. The 3rd of October, 2024, 2:17 p.m. The conference room smelled of polished wood and coffee. Rain streaked the windows, blurring Raleigh's skyline. I sat at the glass table, my portfolio open, ready to discuss the museum project. Greg walked in with 3 board members, their faces tight. I sensed it instantly. Something was wrong. "Richard," Greg said, his voice smooth, "we need to talk." Then it came. "You are out, Richard. Your designs are outdated, and we are moving on." The words hit like a sledgehammer. I would designed every major project in our portfolio. My chest burned, but I kept my face still. "Why?" I asked, my voice low. Greg leaned back, smirking. "The board agrees. We need fresh blood. Your net zero tower pitch sealed it. It is brilliant, but it is mine now. Mine, my design, stolen." I gripped my fountain pen, its weight grounding me. "He is lying to their faces." Board member Linda spoke, her voice hesitant. "Richard, you have done great work, but Greg's vision aligns with our future. We are rebranding. You are no longer a fit. No longer a fit. After 22 years. After $87 million in contracts I would secured. After nights I would spend perfecting every line of every blueprint. Greg slid a severance agreement across the table. Sign this. It is generous. Generous? $50,000 payout for my life is work. I stared at the paper, my mind racing. He planned this. He used me. I looked at Greg. His eyes gleamed with triumph. The board members shifted, uncomfortable. Linda would not meet my gaze. Outside, thunder rumbled, shaking the windows. Inside, my world collapsed. I built this firm, I said, my voice steady. Every contract, every award, my designs. Greg shrugged. Times change. Richard. Sign and move on. Move on. As if I could erase 22 years. My daughter is college fund. Ellen is medical bills. My mortgage all tied to this firm. Claire's face flashed in my mind. I cannot fail her. I did not sign. I stood my portfolio under my arm. You will hear from me, I said. Greg laughed. Good luck, old man. The board stayed silent. I walked out rain, soaking my coat as I crossed Fayetteville Street. My heart pounded, but my mind was clear. He would betray me. He would pay. The first week was a fog. I sat in my living room, staring at blueprints I would never build. My fountain pen lay on the coffee table, untouched. Claire came over, her eyes worried. Dad, you are scaring me, she said, setting a lasagna on the counter. I hugged her, promised I would be okay. I was not sure I believed it, but I was not done. Sarah, the junior architect called. Greg is tanking the museum project, she said. Kyans are asking for you. That sparked. I was not just a name on a severance check. I was Richard Thornton, the man who built Raleigh's skyline. I started analyzing. Greg had stolen my design, but he did not understand its technical core. My net zero systems required my expertise. He would overpromise and underdeliver. That was my opening. Claire dragged me to dinner with her friend, Mark, a corporate lawyer. Over beers, he listened to my story, his brow furrowed. Greg is sloppy, Mark said. If he is claiming your design, we can prove it is yours. A eureka moment hit. I would kept every sketch, every email, every draft of the net zero tower. My portfolio was not just sentimental, it was evidence. I started running again, my sneakers pounding Raleigh's trails. Each step cleared my mind. My fists clenched as I thought of Greg's smirk. He thinks I am finished. I was not. I was sharpening my focus, rebuilding my resolve. Mark sent me a contract template. File a claim for intellectual property theft, he said. You have got a case. I read it, my pulse quickening. This was not revenge. It was justice. I called Sarah. Keep me posted on Greg's moves, I said. She agreed, her voice firm. My team was small, Claire, Mark, Sarah, but it was enough. One night, I sat with my sketches, my fountain pen in hand. I wrote a single word. Strategy. My anger was fuel, but my mind was the weapon. Greg had taken my firm. I would take back my legacy, and I would do it my way. I needed a plan, precise, legal, and devastating. Greg's weakness was his arrogance. He would stolen my net zero tower design, but he could not execute it. The system is geothermal integration and solar panel calibration were my expertise, not his. He would fail without me. I met Mark at a quiet Durham cafe, its wooden tables scratched from years of use. He spread out my sketches, his glasses glinting. Your tintos prove you created this, he said. Greg's pitch deck uses your exact schematics. Step 1. Establish owner. I dug through my emails, finding a 2021 message where I would share the initial concept with Greg. His reply. This is visionary, Richard. Tad was damning. Mark grinned. This is gold. Step 2. Expose Greg is incompetence. Sarah sent updates. Greg was botching the museum project, missing structural deadlines. Clients were frustrated. I knew the museum is lad investor Helen Carter. If I could show her Greg's failures, she would pull support. Step 3. Reclaim my reputation. I would start a new firm, lean and focused. My portfolio was intact. Decades of designs Greg could not touch. I would pitch to Helen directly, offering to fix the museum project. If I can prove Greg is theft, the board will turn on him. Mark outlined the legal path. File a claim with the U.S. Copyright Office for your design, he said. Then sue for damages. The firm is contracts. Rely on your work. Without it, they are exposed. If Greg loses Helen is contract, the firm crumbles. I called an old colleague, Tom, a structural engineer. I am fighting back, I said. He joined me, offering to validate my design's originality. His expertise would bolster my case. If I pitch to Helen at the right moment, she will listen. One night, I mapped it out, my fountain pen, scratching paper. File the claim. Leak Greg is errors to Helen. Logic, each step was a brick in my counterattack. Mark warned me. Greg will fight dirty. Be ready. I nodded my jaw tight. My plan was ethical, rooted in truth. Greg's lies would collapse under scrutiny. I looked at Ellen's photo on my desk, her smile steadying me. This is for us. My strategy was set. Greg would not see it coming. I filed the copyright claim on the 20th of October, 2024. My sketches and emails attached. Mark submitted it to the U.S. Copyright Office. His cover letter sharp. Step 1 was in motion. Next, I contacted Helen Carter. I emailed her polite but direct. I hear the museum project is struggling. I can help. She replied within hours, asking for a meeting. My first win. But Greg was not idle. Sarah texted me. Greg is telling clients you were fired for incompetence. My blood boiled. He was smearing my name. I wanted to confront him, but Mark stopped me. Stick to the plan, he said. He is digging his own grave. I prepped for Helen. My pitch was simple. I would fix the museum's structural issues using my original designs. I spent nights revising blueprints, my fountain pen a blur. Claire brought coffee, her pride clear. You have got this, Dad. The obstacle hit 2 days before the meeting. Helen's assistant called Greg, had convinced her to delay, claiming he would resolve the delays. If Greg swayed her, my plan stalled. I adapted. I asked Sarah to leak an internal report showing Greg's missed deadlines. She hesitated but agreed, sending it to Helen anonymously. It detailed $200,000 in cost overruns Greg's fault. Helen called me that night. Let is meet tomorrow, she said, her tone clipped. The meeting was at her office, a sleek space with oak paneling. I presented my fixes, my portfolio open. Helen nodded, impressed. Why would they let you go, Richard? She asked. I told her the truth. Greg is theft, my claim. She frowned. I will look into this. A small victory, Sarah reported back. Greg was rattled, snapping at staff. He suspected a leak, but could not trace it. His paranoia was my gain. Claire hugged me that night. You are untoppable, she said. I smiled, but my chest was tight. I cleared one hurdle, but Greg was still in my firm, my designs in his hands. I was not done. The real fight was coming. Greg fought back, as I knew he would. On the 5th of November, 2024, he emailed the board, copying me. Richard is spreading lies to sabotage us. He has been. His words dripped with venom, but I read them calmly, my coffee cooling on my desk. He made his mistake. Greg called me that afternoon, his voice tight. "Back off, Richard, or I will sue you for defamation." His threat was hollow. I had proof. I replied, slow and even. "Do what you must, Greg." "So will I." He hung up. Sarah saw him pacing the office. His face flushed. He yelled at a junior designer, blaming her for the leaked report. His cool facade was cracking. I pictured his tie askew, his hands shaking. He is losing control. Greg doubled down, pitching my net zero tower to a new client. He did not know I would copyrighted it. His arrogance blinded him. Mark smirked when I told him. "He is handing us the case." The board grew uneasy. Linda emailed me privately. "Is Greg telling the truth?" I sent her my 2021 email to Greg, proving the design was mine. She did not reply, but I would planted the seed. Greg's threats did not scare me. His kibir was his weakness. He thought he would won, but his lies were fraying. Colleagues whispered about his outbursts. Clients questioned his delays. I stayed calm, my plan unfolding. Greg was unraveling. I was just beginning. The 18th of November, 2024, 10 a.m. The boardroom at Thornton and Vice Designs was packed. Board members, Helen Carter and a dozen staff. I would been invited to discuss the museum project. Greg sat at the head, his suit crisp, his smile smug. He thought he would ambush me. He was wrong. Helen spoke first. "Richard, you claim the net zero design is yours. Greg says it is his. We need clarity." Greg leaned forward. "Richard is lying. I designed it in 2023. He is bitter about his exit." I opened my portfolio, my hands steady. "I have proof." I passed out copies of my 2021 email and sketches. "Take out. This is my design." Greg saw it 3 years ago. The room went silent. Linda's eyes widened. Helen flipped through the documents, her jaw tight. Greg laughed. "Too loud. Those are fakes. You are desperate, Richard." I did not flinch. Mark stood, holding a letter from the Copyright Office. "Mr. Thornton's design is registered. Greg's pitch violates federal law." Gasps rippled through the room. Sarah bit her lip, hiding a smile. Greg's face paled, his hands gripping the table. Helen turned to him. "Greg, explain this," he stammered. I refined it. It is mine." I spoke, my voice calm. "You stole it, Greg, and you botched the museum project. I have already fixed your errors for Helen." Helen nodded. "Richard's plan is solid. Greg, yours cost us $200,000 in delays." The board shifted their eyes on Greg. Linda spoke. "We trusted you, Greg. This is unacceptable." Greg's voice rose. "You cannot do this. I am the future of this firm." I leaned forward, my fountain pen in hand. "You are the past." The room froze. Helen stood. "Greg, you are suspended, pending investigation." "Richard, we will discuss your reinstatement." Greg's chair scraped as he stood, his face red. "You will regret this," he spat, storming out. The board applauded softly. Sarah hugged me. I exhaled, my chest lighter. I played my cards. Greg was finished. By December 2024, Greg was gone. The board's investigation confirmed my design is ownership. They fired him, citing gross misconduct. Helen pulled the museum contract from Thornton and Vice. Unless I let it, the board begged me to return as CUO. I agreed. But on my terms, full control, no partners. I walked back into the firm on the 15th of December, my portfolio under my arm. Sarah and Tom cheered. The glass walls gleamed, the skyline beyond them sharp. I won back my firm, my designs, my legacy. Helen's contract was worth $15 million. My fixes saved the project, earning me an industry award in January 2025. The irony. Greg's stolen pitch tanked his new venture. A rival firm collapsed when clients learned of his theft. Claire threw a party at my house, her smile brighter than ever. "You did it, Dad," she said. Sarah raised a glass. "To justice." The board apologized, offering $500,000 settlement for my wrongful exit. I donated half to Claire's school, her eyes teary when I told her. Greg's downfall was poetic. He would underestimated me, thinking flash could outshine substance. My victory was not just the firm, it was proving trust and skill endure. I sat in my office, my fountain pen in hand, sketching a new design. The firm was mine again, stronger than ever. And I was just getting started. 1 year later, May 14, 2020, I am in my new office, a modest space in downtown Raleigh. Thornton Designs, no, and Vice is thriving. We have landed 3 new contracts, including a $20 million eco-campus. My net zero tower is under construction, my name on every blueprint. Claire visits often, her laughter filling my home. I am semi-retired, mentoring young architects like Sarah, now my lead designer. My evenings are for sketching, a glass of bourbon by my side. Greg, he is a cautionary tale. Last I heard, he is consulting in Charlotte, his reputation in tatters. His Harvard degree means nothing without integrity. I run daily, my fountain pen in my pocket, a reminder of what I have built. The skyline outside my window is mine again, each building a testament to my work. This was not about revenge. It was about truth. I fought with facts, strategy, and patience, proving my worth in a world that values flash. My lesson: never underestimate the quiet strength of those who build, not boast. What Greg did not realize was that I had not just designed buildings, I would designed a legacy that could not be stolen.